Hello everyone. I am up today for a project here at the Pear Blossom Press YouTube channel. My name is Sarah. I'm one of the newer design team members. I'm going to make a card today mostly because I was inspired by this product. So these are the halo lights. And when I did my unboxing and I was kind of looking through all of the different projects and options for things that could light up, I was really drawn, and the first thing I thought of was this die set. This is a die from Brutus Monroe, and I thought, wouldn't it be like the coolest thing ever if I could come up with a way to do a light up fish tank? Like, how cool would that be? So that's what we're going to try today. So when you create this die, when you cut out all the different pieces, you get something that looks like this, right? And then you have your little fish. So my idea is that we'll have kind of like the fish tank kind of be up here and kind of go to the top of the light. And then we'll have maybe a mixed media panel, something, you know, that fills in the card space with a sentiment down here. And of course, here will be where we push, right? And we get our little light up fish tank. Now, this is one that I put together and just put in with the die, so I wouldn't forget how it all goes together. But I'm thinking for my fish tank, we're going to use some thinner weight cardstock, and we will use maybe even some glitter stock. That's what I have pulled for my little fish, and we'll see what we can do. But I think this is going to be really cute and fun. So for cardstocks, I've pulled together a bunch of blues and then a dark. I have the white, and then I also have this glitter stock that I'm thinking would be awesome for the fish. So I'm going to do the die cutting offline, off camera, come back, and we'll put the card together. I'm also wondering about possibly a pattern paper, or if we'll do some mixed media. I'm not sure on that. So that will be the kind of next thing, but I'm going to start by cutting all the pieces and kind of getting my fish together the way I want the fish, and then we'll kind of figure out where we want to go from there. I'm going to start with the base of my card panel. So I chose a wood grained pattern paper. I cut it to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and then I cut the middle part of the outline part of the fishbowl onto that piece. I'm going to use a stamp set from my stash that says swimming by to say hi. And actually, this is going to be a placeholder for the stamp. I don't want to necessarily stamp my sentiment straight onto my card panel. What I'm gonna actually end up doing is stamping it so I can get the placement of everything else correctly. And then I will stamp the sentiment again and die cut it and pop it up. And you'll see that later on in the process. Next, I'm gonna tack the halo light down to the back of that pattern paper with just a little bit of my tape runner adhesive just to hold it in place. And then I'm going to take some of this world's best foam tape, and you guys, this is the world's best foam tape. Oh my gosh, I love that it is repositionable for like 30 minutes after you put it down. That is such a huge game changer when you are working with these types of cards, because I had to pull this up and put it back down a couple of times to get it exactly where I wanted it, and it worked fabulously. So what I'm basically doing is I am packing foam tape all around the edge of the fishbowl opening, as well as right up against the light to kind of help to hold it in place, because the only thing that's really holding that halo light in place is that bit of tape runner. It's gonna kind of hang out here, so it's really gonna need the stability of having that foam tape adhered really well all the way around it. So I'm just cutting these pieces as small or as big as I need to be able to really get a lot of this foam tape kind of packed in all around the open space and the light. So there's what I have so far. So I have my card base, the wood grain paper, and then that is all adhered to the card base now with all of the foam tape on it. Now I'm going to come in with all of the rest of these layers and try to decide what I need to do. So initially I had cut all the layers from all the different colored cardstock, but what I'm going to find as I kind of play with this is that I want the back layer to be not the dark cardstock. You're going to see here when I push it down, like you can barely see the light. But my idea now is let's grab some acetate and we can use the back part of our fish tank. We can replace that with acetate and then our light will come through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start, there's my piece of acetate, and I'm going to glue each of the layers of this fish dye right onto the acetate. And I'm making sure I'm using wet glue and I'm getting each layer really well adhered to my acetate sheet. Now I'm not going to die cut this piece because I want a lip. So I'm going to show you here, I'm cutting around and I'm giving myself a little lip. And what that is going to help me to do is I can then take my glue. This is Nuvo Deluxe Adhesive Wet Glue. It dries completely clear. Completely clear. I know sometimes companies say our glue dries completely clear, but then it really doesn't. This dries completely clear. So I'm putting glue all along the edge where I have that acetate lip that I hand cut. And now, ta-da! Look how awesome that looks. So I'm going to put the rest of these layered pieces from the die together. And then I can add my fish to this one little corner for a pop of that pretty orange color. And check this out. I love how this turned out. The trick is the world's best foam tape really up against that halo light, especially the bottom. And you can see here, look at what I just did. I needed to move the back just a little bit because I thought about adding the blue. I was still kind of thinking maybe I'd add the blue to the back, but no, we're just going to eliminate that layer completely. But did you see how I could just like pull that tape right off? So cool. I love that stuff. And now I can just go ahead and line everything up. And if it ended up crooked, I can pull it off and put it back down. So I wiggled it around, moved everything, let everything dry, made very, very sure that everything was stable, and also the light's not moving. The halo light is in there. It's not wiggling around at all. I let all of the glue dry so that I could, and I did, I moved the fish tank around like with my hands to try to see if it would like come off. It wouldn't. Everything is adhered really, really well. But I want to add some more details. So I'm going to start by grabbing just a whole bunch, and I'm going to punch some little bubbles from all of the different colors of cardstock. I'm also going to go ahead and grab that sentiment stamp that I wanted to use. I'm going to stamp it onto some white cardstock and die cut it, and then I can pop it up and place it on my card. I'm cutting these teeny tiny little pieces of the world's best foam tape, and then I can pop up my sentiment, which will give it more dimension, a little bit more integration into my overall card, and I can line it up and pop it up. And then it is right over the button to light up the fish tank. Last little details, I wanted to create a swath of like bubbles, and then I decided I would do bubbles and sequins. And then once I have these little bubbles and sequins, I'm also going to come in with some Nuvo drops and add those to really fill in and create this kind of dimensional diagonal set of embellishments. I love how this card turned out so much. I think it turned out absolutely beautiful. I'm so glad I went with where the creativity was leading when I sat down to create and decided on a card for today's project. It turned out so cool. I love it. I think I turn off all the lights here and show you how it looks with the lights off, which I think is so neat. In fact, I'm positive that I did, in fact, turn off all of the lights so I could show you how cool it was when it lit up. So awesome, you guys. All right, that will be my project for today. Thank you so very much for joining me. I would love it if you would give this a thumbs up. You can also check out down in the description box for links to the halo lights. And there's also a coordinating blog post that I will link below. Talk to you all again very soon. Bye.